All right, everybody, go ahead and get started. Once again, welcome this morning. My name is Mario Delgadillo. I'm actually the leader. My wife and I are here in Southern California. You'll learn what that is in just a few minutes. But guys, I'm super excited to share about this opportunity and really blessed and honored to be able to share the presentation this morning with two, in my opinion, two of the best in the entire industry, Mr. Dallin, Larsen, Mr. Daniel Picou. So with that said, guys, let's go ahead and get into the information. But I always like to set the table. You know, I'm not sure where you guys are at. And at this point, I'm going to share with you my story. So about 10 years ago, I introduced sure what happened there. You guys broke. We broke Zoom. Okay, we're back. Can you guys hear me okay? Awesome. Okay, so I didn't get let go right at the 2008 crash. It was a year or two after I got let go, laid off in my position, part of what many people call the aftermath. And so, with that being said, I'll tell you that, what happened to me was I was literally looking for another job. I was scared. I was, in a place where, like I said, I was just praying to God every day for an opportunity. And what happened to me was a cousin of mine introduced me to network marketing. And I like I share with folks all the time, I wasn't what you would call an entrepreneur, a business owner. I was a corporate guy. Right. But I went to my first network marketing meeting and a gentleman said something that really blew me away. He said, when your circumstances change, so does your perspective. And for me, guys, that really meant a lot. Okay. That was something that just hit me like a ton of bricks. Okay. So with that being said, guys, I'll tell you that I got started in the network marketing profession, and it literally has changed my life over the course of the last 10 years. And now my wife and I have been stay-at-home parents together, work from home parents for the last 5 years. And so I share all that to say, listen, I know we're in some crazy times right now, times that we've never seen before. And some of you guys might be, worried about tomorrow. And I'll just share with you through my own personal experience. When I got started into this profession, I put a credit card on file and I said, hey, let's figure this out because I needed to figure something out. And it was the greatest decision that I ever made. And I'll tell you that it's been just a massive blessing for my wife and I. So let's talk a little bit about our company and why we're so exciting. And then I'm going to turn it over to none other than Mr. Dallin Larsen in just a few. So I always tell folks, listen, we're a 5-star opportunity because as you're looking for ways or considering different ways to make money online in the space or outside of what you're doing traditionally, you've really got to find the right one. And for me, I believe this is the greatest opportunity in the marketplace right now. World-class leadership, the right timing, disruptive science and products, generous rewards, we'll talk about that, and a worthwhile cause. But to me, it all starts with leadership. You see, for me, coming out of the corporate space, I was always taught that everything rises and falls on leadership, right? In your home, in your church, right? At your job, at the baseball field, it doesn't matter. Everything rises and falls on leadership. And I was blessed about a year and a half ago to meet with this gentleman. And I was able to sit down and look each other in the whites of the eyes and ask a certain amount of questions. But before I share with you a couple other things, I'll share his background. So our CEO and founder, Mr. Dallin Larsen, has been in the industry for over 30 years. Okay. And so that said, let me tell you what the numbers say. I love numbers because numbers don't lie. Since 2001, there have been 48,000 network marketing companies born. And here's what I tell folks. We all know that every single one of those people, okay, every single one of those people or those companies came out and said they had the greatest opportunity ever. They were going to impact the world. They were going to do this, that, and the other. But out of the 48,000, only 13 companies have made it to $1 billion in revenue. Think about that, 48,000 and 13. Okay. Now, out of the 13, this gentleman has been at the beginning of 2 of those companies, right? That's unbelievable. See, it took me back to when I was growing up here in Los Angeles, California, and my dad always used to say, "Don't listen to somebody's lips, watch their feet." See, because everybody can talk a big game, but there's very few people who can actually follow that up with the action. And so when I met with Mr. Larsen, I obviously knew who he was. That performance had earned him the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year award. That's the same award they just gave to Jeff Bezos from Amazon, as well as Michael Dell from Dell Computers. It's not a network marketing award. It's a business award. And so without further ado, let me try to find Mr. Larsen here, because I'm so excited to be able to have him share with us from his heart. And he's one of the gentlemen that I look to, you know, just in life. You know, he's become a great friend of mine. I've had an opportunity to speak to him on numerous occasions, just about life, about fatherhood, about my faith. And this man is as real as it comes. And so with that being said, I see you there, Dallin. Let me see if I can unmute you. Are you unmuted on your side, sir?
There we go.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Well, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. I see people on this call from throughout the United States, and some saying they're up in cold Alberta, Canada. Wow, what a world we're living in. What have we learned the last few weeks? We've learned that things can change rapidly, right? There's no guarantees in life. A friend of mine, or a mentor, once said, attitude comes from gratitude. If you want to improve your attitude, write down everything you're grateful for. And so I'm doing that. Even though we're quarantined in California and other places in the country, this too shall pass. There's always silver linings. There's no quarantining on people loving, being kind to one another, being gracious to one another. You know, it may just be that, you know, I'm looking at, what am I learning from this personally, this situation? I'm learning that I'm taking inventory of my life, how I'm spending my time. Time is so precious and it goes by so quickly. So I'm reading in the Word more than I was before. In fact, my children and I are reading 10 pages together a day. You may want to do this in your own family. My grown children, and then after my 10 pages every day, I write my comments on what I've learned. And then we share back and forth. There's no quarantining on showing kindness and love and wisdom. And another one of my great mentors in life at the age of 19 told me, Dallin, remember this: quiet, calm deliberation disentangles every knot. Be quiet, be calm, be deliberate. This knot will become untangled. It reminds me of June 5th in 1976 when I woke up and found out that the Teton Dam broke. How many years ago was that? 40, something like that? Well, on that day in June of 1976, as I was going into my senior year of high school, our town was completely wiped out. My parents had 2 clothing stores. We had a home. We thought we had it all. But by the end of the day, that home was destroyed. Those businesses were destroyed. But I'll never forget my dad that night as we were staying at my aunt and uncle's home up on the hill, because they lived on the hill. We were down, not on the hill. All the richest people lived on the hill, and we weren't one of them. But I thought we had all the riches in the world, because we had a family of 10 children and parents who had been married for so many years and sewed into their children. My dad gathered all of his children together that night, I should say, and he prayed and thanked God for the blessings, that even though his livelihood was erupted, you know, and he had lost his businesses and his home, and you know, the things that mattered most to him, his faith and his children and his wife, were still remaining. So I pray that your family is still remaining. Let's not take a moment for granted. I got up this morning, I wrote a text to all 9 of my brothers and sisters and told them how much I loved them, because I do. And then, because of the amazing technology that we've been given, I got on a Zoom call. Some of you are on it, our very first VSEO global Zoom call. It was as if I would have jumped on a plane and gone to Thailand, to Hong Kong, to China, to Malaysia, to Indonesia, to Thailand, to Canada, to the United States. We had people from all of those countries and a few others on a Zoom call today. Wow, the marvels of modern technology. My friends, I was retired a few years ago. I've been 30 years in this industry. I've been so blessed. For those of you who are here for the very first time and we haven't had the pleasure to meet, I'm a simple guy from the potato fields of Idaho, barely graduated from high school, truly barely graduated. I had 13 careers after I got through college. And finally, I found this industry, and it spoke to me because it allowed me to speak into people's lives and be part of a community. I love people. The hardest thing of this thing right now is the lack of human touch, you know, because I love to hug. I love the touch. Okay, it's important, and so I miss that, you know. But those of you who aren't sequestered, I mean, away from your family, then make sure you love them, and it's okay, you know, to touch, I hope, and to hug one another. But I came out of retirement. You know, I've made more money than I'll ever spend. I don't say that to brag. It's just the reality. Well, I used to say that. I don't know if I say that now. For the last couple of weeks, I've seen it evaporate before my eyes. But you know what? That's okay. We're not going to take any of it with us. So it's okay. I'm not stressed. I believe that we come through this like my hometown did in June of '76. That flood came through, and for a few days we were shocked, we were discouraged, we cried together, and then we rolled up our sleeves and we rebuilt that town over the next 12 months. And it's a greater town now than it was before because we came together. And I'm seeing that same unifying spirit in America, in North America, and the world, coming together as we should, and perhaps as we never have. And so those are some of the silver linings. We're going to come out of this stronger. But perhaps I came out of retirement for a time such as this, because we have labored. And remember in the Garden of Eden, you know, those of you who read the Bible, thou shalt labor all the days of your life, okay? I read that again this morning, and it has been a labor the last 3 years as we have put a foundation in place to provide excellent products and a way for people to make money and to help their financial situation. That used to be, you know, some people used to laugh at network marketing or home-based businesses. They ain't laughing now. You know, maybe people are binge watching on Netflix. That's okay. I'm hearing they're going to release some of the new videos, some of the new movies on Apple or whatever. I hope they do. And here's my advice for you. After 30 years in this industry and seeing what this business can do for people, now is the time to start a business from home when you're stuck at home, okay? Watch the TV once in a while. It's good to do different things. And plug onto our daily calls. We've got Zoom calls every day telling people about VSEO. We've been awarded one of the top 50 global healthcare companies for a reason. One of the top 50 global healthcare companies. Did you hear me? For a reason. It's because I believe we have the world's finest nutritional products. Now, we can't claim that we're going to cure COVID-19, but I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm doubling up my Eternal with that glutathione. I'm doubling up my Core Complete with my vitamins and minerals. I'm taking my Vtox. I'm taking my Renew. Folks, we've got phenomenal, phenomenal products. Take them. The cells of your body will love you for it. And then through this business, I've helped create hundreds and hundreds of millionaires, and we haven't even scratched the surface yet. There has never been a better time, I believe. It's going to take us a few days, like that flood in '76, to adjust, and we have been going at light speed. We're not the Titanic. We're like a Giselle company. We move fast. We can adjust and adapt. So what have we done? We've made ourselves now a virtual company with virtually meetings, virtual every day of the week. In fact, tomorrow I invite you to join me. Where can you go? Maybe VSEOwall.com. It's going to be a Zoom call with, I'm starting a series every Sunday night Man, am I getting tired of watching Fox News and CNN? I mean, I don't want to bury my head in the sand, but man, how many times do I need to hear it? I think that there's some promising things on the horizon, as some of you have heard. I don't think this is going to be gone very quickly. It may take 2 or 3 or 6 months. I don't know. I can't determine that. God's going to determine that, and the scientists. In the meantime, what can I do with my brain? I can help people get free, start helping them make some money. Okay, we're still shipping products. We're paying commissions every week without fail. We're shipping products around the world. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to be bold. We're going to be courageous. This next week, you are going to hear of initiatives in America when in a period of time when some companies are raising their prices and fear-mongering and taking advantage of the public, something that I disdain with a passion. We are doing just the opposite. We're looking at how we can lower our prices so that more and more people can enjoy the benefits of these products. That's leadership. I got back in this business not because I needed to create another fortune. I wanted to create additional significance, and I was born for a moment such as this. I promise I'm going to give you my best to make sure we continue shipping and delivering products to the best of our ability. Continue paying people each and every week, making these products as affordable as possible, to make this opportunity as easy to explain and simple and duplicatable as possible. We're working day and night, our staff of amazing people, to make sure we bring you our best and our brightest. I invite you to join me this Sunday night as we start life lessons. I was telling you, I'm turning off CNN and Fox for a while. Sunday night is life lessons, full of positive news, where I'll be interviewing different people every week, talking about their life and the lessons they've learned in their lives. We all have our own story, and I want to bring you those stories, okay? Some of you I may be inviting to be a guest of mine on Life Lessons. 7 p.m. Mountain Time this Sunday night, my guest, Maria Ramirez. She immigrated to America from Italy. She was in the World Trade Center during 9/11. You think she's got a few lessons in crisis management? She's going to be sharing. I encourage you to get on there with your families and friends. It's not going to be much about business. It's going to be about life and the lessons we can learn to help us cope in these times. God said, do not be anxious for anything. Some of us are feeling some anxiety and fear and stress. I know, the Bible says God did not give unto man the spirit of fear. So if you're feeling fear, it didn't come from him. Wash it away. Just channel that thought out. But instead, he gave him a faith and of power, a faith and of power and of a sound mind, okay? A sound mind, not a mind that's being tossed to and fro. So I want you to know I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of confidence in what we're doing as a company and what we're doing as a world, a global community. And I am absolutely 100% confident in my mind that we're going to come out of this better than we were before, more unified than we ever were before. And we're going to march on to creating a global business and impacting the lives of millions of people around the world. To imagine that now we've got over 100 wells that we funded over in Africa where children are drinking fresh water. I love that. I love the Viseo community. We are perfectly positioned for times such as this. I've spent 30 years preparing for this very moment. We will give our best to make sure we provide you with great content and great products. You have to do your part too. So plug in, get yourself a Zoom account, and let this forevermore be the only Zoom with only 100 people allowed, okay? We need to up our game. We need to up our room size. So we've got thousands of people, okay? People all over the country are at home right now wondering, what are they gonna do? Some of them are praying, God, what do you want me to do? I know that we've got a solution. So it's a time of courage, not trepidation. A time to be bold and courageous and say, hey, I've got something that you may benefit from. I love you enough to share this. You really need to get on this call with me, okay? So with that, I want to turn it back over to my dear friend Mario and Stephanie. What great folks they are, what solid leaders they are. I appreciate them leading the way and doing this Zoom call on the Saturday. Now, folks, I've got to jump off. I've got some more meetings I've got to attend, but you guys have the rest of a great meeting and a great day. Thank you, Mario.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dallin, and I really appreciate that. Last time, I forget to upgrade my account.
Let's get it done.
Guys, so hang out. We've got Mr. Daniel Picou closing up the overview here. So let's get into the information here. So, guys, when I was able to meet Mr. Dallin Larsen for the first time, I remember flying back with my business partner, and I looked at him and I said, man, I really like that guy. Like, I can really follow that gentleman. I can get into the trenches with somebody like that because I saw that this was so much more than just money. And when you have an opportunity, guys, look, we can all find a widget and sell it and try to make money. But when you have an opportunity to really impact people's lives and you feel it in your heart of hearts, right? That's when you know you're onto something huge. I was talking to White Diamond, Mr. Greg Ferrari yesterday, and he said, guys, there's moments in time. And you'll look back 20, 30 years from now and you'll realize this was our moment in time to step up and do something different than anybody else in the world. And really, guys, I want to just impress that upon you because we've got the greatest leadership in this industry right in front of us. So let's keep on moving. But when I sat with Dallin, listen, this is what I asked him. I said, Dallin, obviously you know how to build a massive company, but why Viseo? Why us? Why our CBD product? There's two things that he shared. The first was this. He said, here's the problem, Mario. Traditional supplements do not absorb. And this is something I didn't know. I know most people don't know this, but listen, when you take a supplement, whether it's a multivitamin or a CBD or fruits and veggies even, you're only going to get about 8 to 10% into your bloodstream. Your stomach tears it apart. Your liver excretes it out through your number 1 and your number 2. Okay, so with that being said, they discovered this absorption problem way back in the 60s when they were trying to give cancer patients their chemo and their medication, and they were only getting a small amount. So doctors and scientists came up with a solution, and the solution is called liposomal technology. You see, a liposome is a little molecule surrounded in fat. What they do is put the nutrients inside of that molecule so it can survive your stomach, bypass your liver, and get into your bloodstream at 80 to 95%. Checkmate. Why? Because, guys, this is our X factor. This is what changes and sets us apart from anything else that is out there in the marketplace. In fact, we were just given, just like Dallin said, top 50 healthcare companies in the world. We're the only network marketing company on that list, and they gave us that award for innovation. Why? Essentially, guys, what we did is we took a technology that the big pharmaceutical companies have been using forever, right? And we applied it to the nutraceutical space so that we take top-tiered products, top-tiered caliber quality products, and we get them into your bloodstream so we actually keep them in our body. Innovation. And we've already been recognized for that, which is pretty cool. So when people ask me, they say, Mario, what are you? Are you a CBD company? No. Right? Are you a skincare company? No. Oh, you must be a nutraceutical or nutrients or a supplement company. No. We're an advanced delivery systems company. So once again, we specialize in getting amazing products into your body so that you actually can use them. And we have what I call some sizzle products. You see, and this is just my personal perspective. This is why my wife and I planted our flag with our company, because guess what, guys? We have phenomenal products. But in business, you need a product that is sizzle. You got to have a product that catches someone's eye. It's the same reason, like when you drive down the boulevard, they put the $100,000 car right next to the side of the boulevard, not, you know, the $30,000 car, because you need something to catch someone's attention. And so we've got that. We've got phenomenal, hardcore quality products that everybody loves. But we've also got those products that'll actually somebody will actually want to talk to you. And so what we have here is CBD1. See, our CBD1 product, from plant to package, everything is done here in the United States, which is extremely important. But that liposomal technology we just talked about, we have a 20-year global patent on that technology. What does that mean? We're not going to find copycats. We're not going to go to the local, swap meet and find knockoffs. It can't happen. But the other thing is that we have THC free. See, and that's super important, because what I didn't know is that as an entrepreneur, listen, I'm from California, okay? And I know some folks who like some THC. So for me, it's neither here nor there. But for me, I understood that as a businessman, there's actually more profit, more money to be made in the non-THC side of CBD. And it's kind of logical. Police officers, firefighters, union workers, teachers, drivers, nurses, they can't have THC in their bloodstream, but they want to use CBD for the healing properties. So they'd be willing to pay more, to go after quality. It's organic, compliant, non-GMO, but what does it do, guys? Virtually everything. You see, when I got started on the track to look at CBD, it was, again, very organic. My mom called me. She struggled with insomnia. She said, hey, Mario, would you look into CBD and see if this is something that you think that I should take, right? I can't sleep. My mind was blown. People in my own family were using it for everything you can think of, right? Fibromyalgia, anxiety, depression, insomnia, arthritis. But what really caught my attention, guys, was this slide right here. You see, when I think about this, that for me, I know people, you know people, everyday average people, people you went to school with. You call somebody, you're like, hey, did you ever hear about Mario? What do you mean? The guy's a millionaire. Why? Well, man, he got involved in X, Y, and Z at the very beginning. It just exploded, right? Guys, things like that happen all the time. So when I saw that CBD was about to explode, I got excited. And that's when I started actively going out and looking to be in part of a CBD company. And that's when I met with Dallin. But when I saw this article here, it made me go crazy. And I'm one of those guys that say, like, I always ask why. So why do I think that this, and this is my personal opinion, this is going to explode? Number one, guys, because I think more people are trying to eat plant-based, organic, non-GMO type of lifestyles. Would you agree? Yes. Number two, would you guys agree? More people are getting tired of pills. They're getting tired of, having to take pharmaceuticals all the time. And number three, guys, is the baby boomers, the largest generation in U.S. history by 3 times. Anything that they've ever touched has turned to gold. Well, where are the baby boomers now? 60s and 70s. Some of them are creeping into their 80s. What's important to people in that phase of life is pain management. So when the largest generation in U.S. history goes out there, they're hurting, and they're looking for organic, non-GMO, plant-based alternatives that are not created by man or in pharmacies, and all of a sudden, this miraculous plant comes out of nowhere, and it helps with all kinds of crazy stuff. They're going to eat it alive, and I just got goosebumps right now because I realized that this had the potential to absolutely explode. You see, for me and my wife, this is why we planted our flag. This is why we got started with the company 14 months ago, because we realized that if you can find the perfect timing, but then you can actually figure out a way to corner that market with our global patent, that could be the recipe for massive success. Now, our second sizzle product is one that I absolutely love, guys. I don't know how we even still have it in stock, to be honest, because everybody's trying to get their hands on Eternal right now. Obviously, it's a little pack, you tear it off, and you're able to squeeze it in your mouth. I always say it's kind of like a little Go-Gurt, right? But it's packed with antioxidants and polyphenols, which are extremely good for your body. It's got a superfruit blend, which is amazing, which also gives it a great taste. Glutathione, okay? Glutathione, guys, is in the news everywhere right now, because right now, glutathione has been linked to go ahead and counter effect. It fights diseases, it fights viruses, and we get it into the bloodstream at 80 to 95%. Huge, guys. There's third-party independent studies that are out all over the place right now talking about how important it is for you guys to have glutathione into your body. Hydrolyzed collagen, which is good for hair, nails, and skin. Microactive CoQ10, which is really good for heart health. And you see here, what does it do, right? It helps to let me scoot over my deal here. So it helps to maintain healthy collagen levels, promote cellular lifespan, maintain already optimized cardiovascular health, counteract effects of free radicals in the body, which is awesome. So that said, let's talk about our third sizzle product. See, this one to me kind of snuck up on me. In January, right, we launched Beleza with a company out of Barcelona, Spain called Lipotech. Lipotech is a Berkshire Hathaway company. You all know who owns Berkshire Hathaway, Mr. Warren Buffett. And so I had a gentleman join my team the other day because he said, simply because of who you are partnered with shows me the credibility, the stability, and the foundation that your company has. But why is this skincare so big? Well, first off, I said it kind of crept up on me because I've never been a skincare guy. I've never really, done anything. I think like most guys, at least, I just wash my face and I go, right? I've been taking this product since December. Believe it or not, guys, I'm 87 years old. Just kidding. But listen, what makes this product different is, see, because most skincare lines actually they just fall at the first level, right? The epidermis. See, but because this product is liposomal, it gets 3 levels deep, but it's not just liposomal, it's multi-layered. So think of that one liposome we talked that we put the nutrients inside. Now, throw a couple more layers on top of that. So as it continues to get deeper into your skin levels, it actually continues to release nutrients all the way down, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now, we have 3 products. The first one is a serum. You use it on your eyes, forehead, and on your neck as well. The secret ingredient here, guys, is Icerol. Icerol actually attacks the bags under your eyes and all of these problem areas, but remember, getting 3 levels deep. Now, we've also got the rejuvenating cream. The rejuvenating cream be placed all over. And the secret ingredient, secret weapon, X factor ingredient is called ReproAge. ReproAge, guys, has been tested, and people say that it actually helps your skin rejuvenate itself at the rate of skin 10 years younger, which is awesome. How many of you guys would like to have skin that's working just like 10 years ago, okay? And then the third is the hydrating mist. This one here protects against blue light, okay? And that's the next thing that you're gonna be, hearing about a lot. Think about this. For me at least, I began the screen age, like the generation of just everything is all about screens, cell phones and computers and laptops when I was probably about 17, 18 years old. But I think about our kids and some of us with our grandkids. My sons, my daughters, they've had screens their whole life. So by the time they're 15, 20, 30 years old, their skin can be damaged because of that blue light. And so you're gonna start hearing a lot about that. And the secret ingredient, active weapon, active ingredient here is called Polyshield, which actually helps to protect against that, okay? But I'm gonna briefly go through all these because I definitely wanna get to Mr. Daniel Picou. But here's what I tell folks all the time. As a marketer, you've gotta have something that grabs attention. Right? As a business person, you gotta have something that grabs attention. That's why when when we used to have newspapers and you'd look in there and you'd see the ads, right? It was always the deal, always the one that catches someone's eye. That was purposely to get you to come to the store. When you come to the store, you see everything else, right? And so we have a full line of products, Renew right there. It says for joints. That's actually my favorite product, right? It's really, really good for aches, for inflammation, for pain. It's got curcumin, which is one of the most active ingredients in there, one of the most inflammation killer, the highly most inflammation killer in the world. That one actually is pretty cool because what it does is it's curcumin, which is under 1% absorbent into the bloodstream, right? And when in a liposome, we're just increasing that absorption. So some of the testimonials on that are absolutely incredible. Sleep is another one. It's got melatonin to help you go to sleep. It's got GABA to help you stay asleep. We already talked about Eternal, which is awesome. Neuro, this one's really good for your brain, give you some sharpness and focus, actually helps to increase circulation in your brain. Detox helps to drain toxins and pollutants and metals that are in your body that we retain, which is really important. V-Slim's got an active ingredient to burn belly fat, curb your appetite. V3, it's a hydration product. Energy, I love that it does that. It gives us the ability to get that pick-me-up without ever having a crash. All plant-based, all organic. And then Core Complete. Core Complete is the strongest product in my opinion that we have, but it's the least sexiest, right? Nobody's gonna come, it's like, hey, you got multivitamins, let me join this movement, right? No, but what happens is we've got those sizzle products, draws people in, and then people fall in love with the other products that we have. And so that's why, in my opinion, it's an incredible business model. But listen, guys, we are truly entering into what we call the gig economy. Just this week alone, in my personal network of people, I know at least 20 people who either lost their jobs, have been asked to go home with no pay, and they're freaking out because the first of the month is right around the corner and the bills are going to continue to come. So not only that, not only is everybody right now worried about what they're going to do next, how they're going to pay their bills, but they're also trying to figure out how to leverage technology to the fullest. And see, what's so cool about us, remember we talked about those moments in time. This is your moment in time to rise to the occasion and to utilize technology and what we've given you here with Viseo to create something magical. We have an opportunity to go out and bless so many people and do something noble. That's the beautiful part, is even if people don't want to join with us and partner up, it's okay. Because in my heart of hearts, I have such a deep conviction about our products that I'm telling everybody, go and just get as many customers as possible, because you got to do your part. But I don't know about you, but I'm ready to fight back. I don't want to, go into my house and do this and look out the mini blinds and see who's outside. I'm willing to fight back. I want to keep my family and loved ones healthy, but I want to go out there and do as much good as possible. And this is what this vehicle has given us. But here's what I've been saying for a long time, guys. Being early is sometimes better than being good, right? I'm gonna say that again. Being early is sometimes better than being good, because all the big companies that have tremendous track records, the Amways of the world, the Herbalifes, the New Skins, right? The Primericas, all those companies that are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, At one time, we're 2.5 years old. And at one time, people planted their flag, and then the company did this. And when you have an opportunity to ride that wave, you can change your life instantaneously. And guys, this is not theoretical. This has happened time and time and time again with those big companies. And I believe we're going to be the biggest company that ever existed in the network marketing space because of this very moment where we're at. So with that being said, guys, we've had a pretty cool amount of people that have come out and spoke on behalf of the company. Grant Cardone, massive real estate tycoon. Kevin O'Leary from the Shark Tank. Many of you guys know him. But the one I like to talk about most is Maria Ramirez. According to the Wall Street Journal, she's the world's foremost financial forecaster. She said, guys, that no company is better poised to create significant global market share over the next several years than the company called VSEO. Huge deal, guys. Now, we get paid 8 different ways. I'm going to briefly touch on each one of these because I want to give it over to Mr. Picou to close up. But number one, we have a customer acquisition program. So yes, you can just sell products to folks and do very well, okay? We also have a wholesale, like bulk sale type of deal where you can actually help people that own businesses to sell products in their retail space. Product introduction bonus. So whoever invited you on today, if you decide to partner up with us, we have a number of different starter packs. Whatever starter pack you get started with, the person who invited you on or invited you to the company is going to get a one-time 20% bonus. Now, team commissions. We are going to help you build 2 teams, one on your left and one on your right. As those folks are going out on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and new people are purchasing product, new people are joining the team, and people are repurchasing their products on a monthly basis, you can earn up to $28,000 a week on just number 3 alone. Matching bonus, guys, is called leveraged income. See, as I introduce people to the team personally, they fall on my first generation. I get an opportunity to match their paychecks every single week at 20 to 30%. Now, as that continues to go, so second generation, I match them at 10%, third generation at 5%, and from 4 to 7, it's 5% with no max. So for instance, in my first 14 months here, I've helped sponsor in or helped bring in over about 94, 95 people to the company. That's at first generation. Then it goes 7 levels deep with no max. Guys, 2, 3, 4 years down the road, number 4 will be the largest part of anyone's paycheck if they continue to build, because that's where true wealth is built. We have an awesome rank advance bonus plan. We'll talk about that in a sec. Global leadership. So you have an opportunity to earn 3% of the company's global revenue share on a weekly basis, gets paid out every week. Lifestyle trips. Now, when they allow us to start traveling again, we go all over the place, okay? My wife and I were blessed through the system that VSEO teaches us to be able to help, I think, about 57 couples go on trips to the Bahamas this year. Oh, super awesome, great time. And then number 8, we will give you a multiple business center. So once you hit Black Diamond or above, you can actually have another position put in atop of all your business and start to kind of double dip, which is cool. So these are all the different ranks that we have in the company. I'm just going to hit on a couple of them on our way up. So really, the core of everything we have is STAR. Okay, you guys, if you can just focus on being a STAR machine, right? Someone gets started. STAR means you have one person on your right, one person on your left. Then that person, we help them to get to STAR, and then that person to get to STAR. That 2 who get 2 who get 2 who get 2 model, if I can tell you, that really, really works in your favor when you're early, which we are. Right? I've been in network marketing companies before where it feels like I was just pushing a boulder up a mountain, and it was just like everything just to get it to move. I've also experienced what it's like when exponential growth kicks in, and you guys we're right there with everything that's going on in the world, guys. Just like Dallin said, there's so much wisdom there. He said it's going to take about a week for everybody to adjust. I think that's what's happening this week. In 1 week from now, or or in a week or so, everybody's going to have this sobriety of vision, and they're going to say, whoa, I need to do something. And then those of us that have moved right now, positioned themselves, are going to have that exponential explosion that we always talk about in network marketing. So when you get to gold, that's where you win a trip to the Bahamas. We get a cruise. It's just so awesome. In my group in our first year, we've helped about 14 people hit platinum. We've got 2 blue sapphires. We've got 1 ruby, 1 emerald. My wife and I hit diamond in about 90 days. At white diamond, they give you a $50,000 upfront bonus. Black diamond, $100,000 upfront bonus, give you keys to a Mercedes-Benz of your choice, and they take you on an incredible trip. Last year they went to Greece, and this year we're going to Turks and Caicos. Royal Black Diamond, Imperial Black Diamond, guys. Let me tell you something. When I say that we're early, the top position in the entire company is at Imperial Black Diamond. That's the highest rank anyone's achieved. So think about that. Crown, double, and triple, nobody's even there yet, right? And so when that exponential model blows, a lot of you guys are going to be pushed by, it's kind of like if you've ever got hit by a wave and it kind of pushes you. Some of you guys are going to get pushed to gold, pushed to blue sapphire, pushed to diamond. Why? Because we're here at the right time. So with that being said, guys, I tried to get through that information and be as excited as possible, but I'm really excited to hear from this gentleman because in the short year, just a year that I've been with the company, I've had an opportunity to really spend a lot of time with this gentleman, not just in business, but also with our just in the private time, personal time. We played basketball together, and I know this gentleman's heart. And when I say he is the real deal Holyfield, I mean it, because this gentleman really, really does want everyone to win. And he just doesn't, again, not with lip service. He's going out there with his feet and working. Even with whatever's going on right now in the world, you can text this gentleman and he's always awake. He always gets back to you. And I messaged him this morning and he said, it's time to start a fire. And so I'm super excited to have our president and co-founder, Mr. Daniel Picou, on the line. Daniel, I've highlighted your video, and I think you are unmuted now as well. Let me see there. Oop, hold on, you moved. Okay, unmute. There we go, Daniel.
Mario, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Excited to hear from you.
Excellent job. Thank you for having me on. And guys, thanks everybody for jumping on here. Dallin did a fantastic job as always. We had our global Zoom at 8 o'clock this morning, and which was fantastic. Got a lot out of that. Really enjoyed it, and I appreciate all you guys jumping on here. I think the world of Mario and Steph and their dedication through all this. We're in interesting times, right? As a company, as a country, as a globe. I mentioned it this morning on the global Zoom, but I don't know of another time that the whole world's come together to fight something. I said it again on my call, and I'll say it a third time on here. I think it's pretty interesting. The whole world's coming together. It doesn't matter about your race, your age, doesn't matter about your faith, doesn't matter about your political, what your beliefs are, Democrat, Republican. Nobody in Europe cares. Nobody in Asia cares. We all care about one thing, and that's fighting this bug. So stay in, stay healthy. With that said, now is not a time to live in fear. I believe it's a time to live in faith. And we've got a lot of employees telecommuting and working from home. But I want to take this time to say this is the perfect time for us to adapt, and not just as a company, but individually. And so I would ask you guys to really start doing some searching and searching on what you want, what your commitment is, right? How committed you are. Indecision is the thief of opportunity and enterprise and wealth. And what I mean by that, indecision, most people live their lives indecisively and without making a decision. Mario made a decision to come over here. And like I said, I think the world of him and Steph and who they are as people, not just their leadership here, not just their title or their rank. Leadership is not always title and rank, by the way. Leadership is helping out one person. You don't have to be on a stage with thousands of people to help people. You can be at a Denny's at 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, right now you can't. That's a bad analogy. But normally you could be at a Denny's or a Waffle House or a Starbucks and sitting with somebody, and maybe you share something with them that changes their life. I got a phone call from a good friend of mine of 12 or 13 years, and he called me last week, and we were just catching up, chatting at midnight. And he said, Daniel, I want to thank you for something you shared with me years ago. I never forgot. And he went on to share with me it was some investment advice that I gave him, and now he's married. He's got a couple little kids, and he said, I've never forgot that. And that hit me pretty profoundly because I thought, isn't that interesting? I was just sharing something casually, frankly, forgot I really even shared it with him. But for him, he took that, and over 10 years later, he's grabbed a hold of it, and that's meant a lot to him. And I'd say to everybody on here, you have that chance to do that in this business, right? There's two types of people, those that plant in the spring or those that beg in the fall. And I want that to really digest for you. Those that plant in the spring and those that beg in the fall. And Les Brown, I was sharing with everybody on the global Zoom. I was on the phone with Les Brown the other day, and I'm going to have him on a Facebook Live Monday at 7 Mountain. Make sure you guys are on there at 7 o'clock Mountain on Monday night. But Les said the other day, I said, I talk about work works, Les. I said, what's your philosophy on work ethic? He said, it's real simple. He said, there's two types of people, those that work and those that watch the other people work. And he said, people that don't like to work normally have skinny children. And I thought, you know what? What an interesting way to sum up work ethic and drive and enterprise and free enterprise. And so I would say this, let's let other people lead small lives, not you. Let other people make excuses, not you. You know, you can make excuses or you can have results. Tony Robbins says all the time, results are all that matters. And I asked Tony one night on a phone call a few years back. I introduced, a lot of people know the story, but I introduced Dallin to Tony back in 2015. But I asked Tony one night, I said, you've been all over the world, millions of people. You've seen everybody from the celebrities to the Mother Teresa's to the Bill Clinton, you've coached them all, the athletes, the Michael Jordans, everybody. What's the one word that separates people that go out and achieve something big? And he said hunger, the word hunger. He said, I've seen Oprah Winfrey. You know, most people don't know the story of Oprah and how she grew up. It'd make you cry if you read the whole story. He said, I know Oprah personally. I've seen what's happened in Oprah's life and how she was able to impact millions of people through believing in herself and having hope in herself and having a big dream. And she went out there, but he said she had to be hungry. She started off as a newscaster, an African-American newscaster, and went on to build, most people don't know that, she hosted the news and went on to build her own show. And now everybody knows Oprah Winfrey. But we've all got a story inside of us. I've got a banner behind here. What's your story? So I challenge all you guys out there. Number one, how hungry are you? And I love what Mario says, because I say the same thing as Mario's father did. I always watch people's feet, not their lips. Anybody can talk. And I'm so proud of this corporate team and them adapting and telecommuting, and we're in constant touch. I'm getting messages from them just 10 minutes ago here before I jumped on here. They're working on a Saturday. Doesn't matter about the coronavirus, the bug, the challenges that are in front of us. They're working to go out and serve you guys. So I'd ask you individually, number one, how hungry are you? Are you really truly hungry, or do you just jump on an occasional Zoom with Mario because you think he's a good presenter and he might have some good content? Or do you really believe in what we're doing? Are you really hungry to change your life? And I don't care where you're at. I truly mean that. I get on three-way calls with people. Sometimes my favorite calls are people that aren't having a lot of success right now. Sure, I like getting on a call with somebody that maybe they've had success in our industry or outside, or maybe in the food restaurant world. Maybe they're an entrepreneur. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're a medical doctor. All different backgrounds. I love getting on those calls, but I also like getting on the calls of people that say, you know what? I'm in a bad rut right now. How do I dig out of this rut? And all I care about is somebody's coachable and teachable and still has some fire left burning inside of them. Because if they don't have fire, we can't do much with them. Some of the best coaches in sports, in the college world and professionally, will tell you, you know what? We can deal with a kid that's got a little bit of an attitude. We can deal with a kid that we've got a lecture to go to class. But we can't teach a kid how to have a heart. We can't teach a kid how to want it for themselves more than we want it for them. In this business, that's a perfect analogy for this business. Mario's a pretty strapping, strong guy, right? Works out quite a bit, and I've played some sports with him. He's an athletic, strong guy, but he could probably carry one person on his back to the finish line, maybe two if you guys were light. He can't carry 3, 4, 5 people on his back. He'd break his back. And one of the saddest things for me in this industry, in this business, is so often people want to carry people on their back. I'd say don't do it. You know, the old saying, Ray Kroc used to say at McDonald's, I don't train people how to be nice. I go hire nice people. I don't train people how to be motivated. I go hire motivated people. This is similar. The only difference is we've got a volunteer army, right? This is not an army that we hire people or we fire people. This is an army that you have to have leadership and have to have people believe in you. And so I just tell you this. Number one, how hungry are you? Number two, how coachable and teachable are you? And how much are you willing to adapt? Corbin and Holly, fantastic job. They're out there doing Zooms. They're out there, hundreds of people on these Zooms. Mario hosting a Zoom. We're hosting a global Zoom. I got Les Brown. We've got Saturday launch calls starting this coming Tuesday. We've got all the diamonds, the black diamonds getting on calls Tuesday night at Mountain, and then Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Mountain, and then Thursday, 7 o'clock Mountain. Make sure all your people are plugged in there and staying on fire. I love what Dallin says. And Mario says this is a perfect time for our industry, our business. You know, we've been preaching work at home from years. And now you turn on CNN, constant negative news, by the way. Man alive. Turn that place on. It's like, why am I even alive? But turn on Fox or CNN or any of these negative news channels. And the story this week is everybody should be working from home. Excuse my cough. It's not the coronavirus. I've had a little cough the last few days because I haven't slept much because I've been fired up because I've been working. But I say all that to say, what a perfect time for us. And what a perfect time to adapt into who we are. And the prospects that you would have wanted to talk to 3 and 4 weeks ago that would have had no interest in what we're doing, both on the product side, because health was not their number one priority, or the work from home side, the cash flow side. 3 or 4 weeks ago, they might not have even opened your video or taken your call, but today they'll take your call and open your video because circumstances change. The timing in their personal life has changed. So number 1, how hungry are you? Number 2, how coachable, teachable, and willing to adapt are you? And number 3, how persistent are you willing to be? I love today's launch call with Amy Wade and Shanna Kurtz. And Amy told the story of the stranger on the other end of the phone. And that stranger was Shanna, who was persistent. You know, I heard Jim Rohn years ago in my 20s. I'll never forget it. I only got to meet Jim Rohn one time. I got a picture with Jim, and I had hair back then, by the way. That's how long ago it was. I had a full head of brown hair. But I only met Jim Rohn one time. But I love a quote from Jim Rohn years ago that I've had for almost 20 years. And he said, "Thank God that persistence is the ultimate substitute for talent." And I've never forgot that, because I don't care who you are on here. I don't care how bad your presentation skills are, how bad your phone skills are. I don't care any of those things. If you have some work ethic, you're coachable and you're teachable and you're persistent, you can go out and do anything you want to do, including go diamond in this company. And so I would tell you guys all this: have courage, have persistence, make sure you're plugging into everything that Mario and Ricky and Francoise and Holly and Corbin are doing. Make sure you're plugging into everybody everything we're doing here at corporate. Make sure you're checking the Viseo wall. And I'd say this: have courage. Have courage in your personal lives right now. Don't panic. Panic doesn't do anything. Have courage in your personal lives. Have courage in Viseo. Don't sit on a throne and judge people and say they'd never be interested in this opportunity. Because as I hang up here, I've got a 12 o'clock three-way call. I've got a 12:30 three-way call. I've got a 1 o'clock Zoom, and I've got a 1:30 three-way call. I'm booking back to back to back. I want you to do the same thing. I want you to go out and have courage. I think courage is the most important virtue you can have, because without courage, you can't practice any of the other virtues. Courage to me is the most important thing. When challenge is looking you dead in the face and dead in the eye, what are you going to do during those times? As I said earlier on our global Zoom, character's not built in the easy times. Character's built in the tough times. And if you're a Holly Roush and your husband says, "I don't believe in this industry, I don't believe in this business, you're going to do this business over my dead body," and Holly said, "Get the heck out of my way and watch what I'm going to go do," and earns 13, 14 million bucks in Dallin's previous community, that took courage. If you're Mario and you've had a lot of success financially and you've had the nice material things, but you have some ups and downs and challenges, 82, 83% of millionaires since 2000, go look up the stats, that had a net worth of over $1 million have lost it at one point or another over the last 20 years. Most of them that are willing to get up and can still look up because they're on their back and they're not kneeled down, they're on their back and they can stand up and they're willing to fight. Most of them go on to earn bigger fortunes. They find the right opportunity at the right time. And so I'd tell you this: I've seen average networkers make a fortune because they were in the right place at the right time and they stayed with the right company. I've seen talented networkers not do well because they keep going company to company to company and they keep getting frustrated. And wherever you go, there you are. So let's have some courage. Let's be coachable. Let's be teachable. Let's adapt. Let's plug in and let's go out there with not only courage, but persistence every day. I love each and every one of you. I wish I was in California. I was supposed to fly out yesterday. I wish I was in California and not in chilly, cold, rainy Utah. I wish I was in, it's actually not too rainy. I think the sun's out now. I haven't been out in a few hours. It looked like it was going to rain earlier, but it's a blessing to be on here with you guys. And I think the world of my business partners. They're in the trenches. Dan's working his tail off in Asia. Dallin's up every day, night and day, on Zooms, on conference calls, on three-ways. We are committed to you. Nothing, by the way, is affected in this company outside of us lowering some prices and doing what we need to do to help you. We are fully committed. Their supply chain, the ingredients. I keep getting text messages. I just got 2 of them a few minutes ago before I jumped on here. Text messages saying, "Am I going to get my products this week?" Mario sent me a message earlier. "How are we able to ship products?" And I, in a smart aleck way, replied to Mario and said, "Well, we put them in a box, put a label on them, and we send them out to people." And we had an earthquake here, 5.8 earthquake here in Utah this week. And guess what? It didn't stop us. We're still sending out products. So until further notice, I don't see anything coming up. We've got plenty of products in the warehouse, the supply chain, the ingredients, everything's running smoothly. I want you guys to plug in. I want you to have a great rest of your Zoom. Mario, thank you for having me on here, and you guys have a blessed rest of your day.
Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that and appreciate the words. It is beautiful here in California right now. And what makes it so much better as well is because no one's on the streets. So you don't run into any people.
Southern California without traffic. That sounds like a dream.
This morning, I just got in the car and I drove around the neighborhood just to get out of the house. And it was amazing.
I love it. How cool is that, huh? Don't tell everybody that. If they think there's no traffic and you got that sunshine all the time, you'll have even more people moving there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they could take my spot.
I love it. See you, Mario. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Daniel. Hey, guys, so we're going to finish off real quick, and there's just a couple of bits of information. So if you guys are a guest, we're going to talk about what's next. And if you're a brand partner, I also encourage you to stay on, because I'm going to give you guys a couple of nuggets that I think, even as a brand partner, you can take and use with you to go out there and help to speak to people, okay? So with that being said, getting started with us is easy as 3 steps, okay? Step number 1 is you're basically going to pick a package, okay? There's a number of different packages to choose from. I rank them in 3 categories. You got your intro pack, your middle pack, and then your foundation pack, right? Most everybody gets started with a foundation pack because you get an additional 2% revenue share on the company, okay? But I know people who have got started with the $250 intro pack, and they've gone out and made tons of money. But as we're addressing money and getting started and spending money, this is what I've been having conversations with people about every single day. Right now, you're going to run into people in one of 2 places. Maybe this is you. Maybe you're in one of these 2 places. Number 1 place is this. Mario, I've got a little bit of money left, or I've got a little bit of money in my account, and I'm going to do this. I got to dig my nails into that. Because what I'm trying to do, we all have a personal economy, right? And this personal economy is simplified as this: how much money goes out and how much money comes in. Would you guys agree? That's as simple as our personal economy. So while you might be this person right now, okay, and you're trying to stop all money from going out, I get it. Okay, I get it. I understand that. I was there. When I saw this industry 10 years ago, I was in this place, right? But here's what I've been telling people that I love, people that I care, okay, for, and people that I just want to make sure that I'm doing right by them. Doing this is going to be scary. It can get scary because ultimately, when you do this, you can hold on to what you have, but in 2 weeks, the first of the month comes, mortgage, rent, utilities, all that other stuff, and people keep eating. I don't know if it's you, but I feel like my kids are eating more now that they're home than when they were out at school and doing all the other things, right? So doing this, that little ball of money is going to continue to get smaller. But in your own personal economy, if you don't have money coming in and you're just, and you're limiting that, sooner or later, that's a recipe for disaster. Place number 2, you're going to run into people where they say, listen, I've got a credit card and I've put trips on credit cards, concert tickets on credit cards. I put, I put clothes on credit cards. Why not put something on a credit card, use the bank's money, so that now while I'm holding on to what I have, I've actually opened up a door to an opportunity for money to keep coming in, right? And so that way, if it's 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever, however long this storm lasts, at least there's a door open. At least you have I always say, like a fighter's chance to continue to survive. So with that being said, I don't care what package you get started with. What I care is that you get started. Give yourself and give your family a fighter's chance, okay? Because going out there and doing this is a scary place to be. So number 1, pick a package. The person who had you on the webinar, they'll follow up with you and talk about the appropriate package for you to purchase. Step number 2 is you enroll in our loyalty convenience program. The only thing that you have to do on a monthly basis, we don't have quotas. You don't have to go out and get people, none of that stuff. The only thing you need to do to make sure that your business stays open as opposed to being closed, right, is you have to make a personal purchase for yourself. That personal purchase is for your own product. products, right? So it's $100 or $200. That's just depending on you and what products that you purchase. Step number one, pick your products. Step number two, you decide what you want to do on a monthly basis. We do have a pretty cool opportunity. Anybody can sign up for this one time, $119. You get all your shipping done for the rest of the year, which is cool. And then number three, become a star, right? Our job is to teach you. Now, we're an online business, okay? I'm going to teach you the secret sauce. This is how we've been exploding. For those of you guys that are brand partners on the call, in the last 30 days, our group has we think we did 5 golds and 1 blue sapphire, okay? It's as simple as this. Everything we do is over the phone. Everything we do is over Zoom. So if you get started today, reach out to some folks, and it's as simple as this. Hey, listen, I found a way to make money 100% online in the CBD space. I thought of you. Are you open to hearing what we got? Yeah, awesome. Get them on the phone with Holly. Get them on the phone with Corbin. Get them on the phone with Ricky. Get them on the phone with your upline. They join. You do that twice, and then you keep duplicating that down. That's it. But right now, we have what's called the 4x4. We have the 4x4 program, which is insane. If you got started today, you basically have 30 days to go out and help 4 people join your team through you. Company's going to give you a $1,500 bonus. That's insane, guys. You should take that 4x4 and ride that thing all the way to millions of dollars, because it's so simple to help somebody get 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we go. Okay, very, very simple. We do also have partnered up with Heart and Hands for Humanities, which is huge. This is a foundation where we basically put freshwater wells into the ground. At our last convention, we raised up $180,000 to go out and put freshwater wells into the ground in Tanzania, Africa. We've got a phenomenal veterans program. We waive your enrollment free. You get a 10% discount on your first purchase, and then thereafter you get 10% discounts as well. And then finally, guys, I'll end with this. Just, hey, listen, go love on somebody today, right? Obviously, don't hug, right? Maybe you do one of these, right? Dallin said to do this, right? Go out there and hug on somebody, love on somebody, send text messages to the people out there that you love. And this is what I would say. This is my personal opinion as we finish. I believe God is going to use this as an incredible awakening in our nation and in our world, right? It's really causing everybody to consider and to think about what really matters in life. Guys, what matters is your health, right? Is taking care of yourself, right? What matters is your loved ones, your families, right? People outside, going around and making sure that other people are being taken care of, right? Be loving, be giving, right? Understand that what is this all about, right? When all of the noise goes down and everybody falls, we're going to have some lessons that we learned. I hope that one of those lessons is that you found an opportunity to never be in this place again. That's what happened to me 10 years ago. I said, I can go get a job, but I don't ever want to be in a place where someone could walk into my office and say, come on, you're done. Just like that. That was my lesson that I learned. Right? I hope you actually learn a lesson through this, and I hope you partner up with us on this movement to go out and impact the masses. God bless you guys. Thank you, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.